Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to create an assignment Dropbox. So if you want to collect assignments electronically from students, this is what you would do. You would go into your course, you'd turn your editing on, you'd find the section that you want to add this assignment to. So let's say it's this first section I want to add it to. I'd go add an activity or resource, and then I would go to add an assignment, which is at the top here. Okay, I'd click add. And then there are some different options I have within that. Okay, so I'm just going to call this practice assignment Dropbox and turn in your assignment here. Okay, now I can set this up so there's online text, so it could be an online text submission. I could have multiple files being uploaded, so 1 through 20 files. Okay, if I want it to be a file upload, maximum submission size is 50 megabytes. I can have feedback types. I can have feedback comments, feedback files, offline grading worksheet. I can have some different submission settings. Students require click submit button. I can say yes or no. I select no so that they don't have that extra step. Require that students accept the submission statement. I say no so that you don't have to worry if they miss that step. Okay. Group submission settings. Students submit in groups, yes or no. Notifications. Notify graders about submissions. So do you want to be notified? That will give you an email every single time, so I would not do that. Notify graders about late submissions. So if you set the due date and time and something's turned in after that due date, you could select yes, and then it will notify you that something's been turned in. Or what I would do is after you have graded all of the assignments, I would come back into the notifications and change these to yes, and then if anybody turns their stuff in late, it will notify you that it was turned in. You don't have to go back and search through. Grade, if you want to put it in the gradebook in Moodle, you can. We do not currently have Moodle and Skyward communicating through gradebook, so that's not a great benefit, but Skyward doesn't want to cooperate with us on that at this point. Common module settings, I want it to be visible. And notice group mode was in there, and I can also restrict access as to when I will no longer allow access. Okay, and so those are the different settings that I can choose from. So I click save and return to course. And now I've created my Dropbox assignment. A lot of times what is good is to indent this in a little bit. And so if I click edit, I can click move right, and then that moves it right. And so if this was the assignment description here, the turn-in could be indented, and then it's easy to understand that those two things would go together. So when a student is ready to turn in an assignment, they would click that, and then they would upload their assignment. Okay, and so I'll show you how that looks in a minute. Okay, so I've gone ahead and logged out as a teacher and now logged in with my student account. And so you'll notice that I'm on the home page. And now I'm going to go into navigation and I have my courses. And I'm going to go into the Tech Academy course. So when I open this up, I have the 2014 Tech Academy. And now when I go in here, I will see in this first section, and notice as a student I don't see all the files because I need to go into those sections, but it tells me what's in each. Okay, and so if I go into this first section, then I can see that I have a Dropbox assignment. So I'm going to click on that Dropbox assignment. I'm going to add a submission, and so I'm going to search for a file, and I'm going to submit that file. I can look on my computer, I can go to Google Drive, etc. So I'm going to find a file here, and I'm going to just add it to the list. So let me see if I can find a file that I'd want to use. Okay, let's see. So let's say I'm looking at Manga High Math Games and Videos. I'm going to upload that file. I'm going to save changes. And now that file is included. As soon as it uploads here, taking a few minutes. Okay, so there's been one submission. And so as the student, I have it submitted for graded. I can edit submission if I want, change it if I need to resubmit, etc. So now I'm going to log back in as teacher and go in and show you what it looks like. Okay, so as teacher, I can go into that assignment. And I can say practice assignment Dropbox, view or grade all submissions. And then now I'll see all the students in the class and whether or not they have a submission. And this works a lot better than having students email you assignments because they're all located in one spot. So notice I have 55 participants in here, and right down here I will see whether something was submitted or not. Oh, and there it was. So now I can click on this and it will open, and notice in Google Chrome it drops down here, and then I can select always open files of this type or open, and then after that's open I can then grade it. I can do whatever I want to it. I can also go into this bottom part here and I can select all files, or I can go to the top and I can select everybody. Okay, whoops. I can select everybody, and then when I select everybody I can say lock submissions, and then that would not allow anybody to submit. I can unlock submissions, I can grant everybody extensions, etc. So I've got some multiple things that I can do when I select those people. I have some other options in terms of assignments per page and filtering. I can filter submitted or requires grading if I've already graded some. That will only work if you grade it in Moodle actually. Okay, all right. So to grade it I would click this button here, and then it brings me to this page, and then I can give the grade out of 100. I haven't set this up for any feedback or anything, so I could make comments in the submission comments right here if I wanted to as I grade, and then they'll see their grade and their comment. So that is basically how you create an assignment Dropbox and use that to grade an electronically submitted assignment. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.